All right, ladies and gentlemen, the picks are in. The San Francisco 49ers versus the Chiefs. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? Obviously, we all want to know, but we're going to have to wait till Super Bowl Sunday to actually find out. So, within the weeks leading up until the game, we're going to get all the picks and the predictions and the money line changes and all the different things that come along with the big game. So we got our first NFL expert picks of who they believe is going to win the Super Bowl. And so what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at it. We're going to react to it. And I'm not going to lie, I kind of like it. So let's take a look right here. Let's make it a little bit bigger, shall we? So at first glance, I would say there's a lot of red on there. But of course, they're both red. So duh. But there's a lot of Chiefs logos on there. So as you can see, out of the 10 available NFL experts, only 2 of them picked the San Francisco 49ers to win. And there's some names on here that we respect and maybe not so much. So let's talk about it. Let's react to it. So as you can see, there's also these ranks right here. So first, we have second here. So first is Maurice Jones-Drew. Second is Shook. Not really sure who that is. Third is Marquise Grant, I believe is his name. I'm familiar with him as like a fantasy analyst. Fourth, Gordon. Fifth, Patra, and then you see the blanks on everyone else. So they do the game preview picks every week, and based on the total season, this are the ranks. So MJD got first place because he picked the most correct picks. And as you can see, first, second, fourth, and fifth picked against the San Francisco 49ers, picking the Chiefs to win, and the guy who ranked third, Grant, picked the 49ers to win 24-20. Also, Colleen Wolfe picked the San Francisco 49ers to win. I'm sure you guys remember this name right here, though. See, this is the one that I really wanted to come and see. Who is Adam Rank picking for the San Francisco 49ers to win? Because as you guys know, Adam Rank rose to notoriety in the 49ers community in 2019 when he put out his season prediction for the 49ers. He had the 49ers going 3-13. And what did the 49ers do? They flipped that record. They went 13-3. So he had them as the worst, one of the worst teams in the NFL in 2019. And the San Francisco 49ers went all the way to the Super Bowl. And all year, all we would post and all we would talk about was Adam Rank, that the picture of Adam Rank next to his ranking board, and showing the the 49ers losing 13 games, when in reality, when it was all said and done, the 49ers won 13 games and went to the Super Bowl. So we never forget, Adam. We'll never forget at all about you and your horrible predictions. So I kind of feel better about that. And honestly, when you look at it all, this is how I think everyone's thinking about this game. I really do. I feel like this is a great representation of how most people think. I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, the defense that they have with Bolton and Chris Jones and McDuffie. They're playing at a high level. And so I think this is really representative kind of how the nation thinks about how the Super Bowl is going to go. And as we see, Brock Purdy still finds himself in the headlines. We have Cam Newton today coming out trying to get his clicks and get his name back in the headlines with just an egregiously explained take of why he still believes Brock is a game manager. Just honestly a bunch of nonsense. There's really nothing that came of it, but I think it's representative as well of just kind of the thought process, right? Kind of the thought process amongst people who are judging these teams based on their quarterbacks. And of course, you see Patrick Mahomes versus Brock Purdy. Which one are you going to go with? I would not shame you at all for going for Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes hasn't missed an AFC championship game in any season that he's played in. He's made it all the way to the AFC championship game in every single season that he's started at quarterback for the Chiefs. He's remarkable. He's probably the best player in the NFL right now, and deservedly so. He's got the resume to back it up. But then you look at Brock Purdy, first full season as a starter, you know, two come from behind victories to get to the Super Bowl. The game against the Packers wasn't his best game. Had to fight and claw his way back into the game against the Lions, which I thought was a phenomenal performance by him. And really, to me, shaking off any notion that he's just a game manager, which is, again, hilarious why Cam doubled down on it. So, again, we're going to put Cam over there in the corner and let him sit there with his cap. But I think when we look at everyone else, like I do think that a lot of America is going to be picking the Chiefs. So I like this. I do. I like this. I think this is a good spot to be at for the 49ers. I think I've talked about this on previous lives and stuff like this, and I've talked about the mentality, the makeup of this team, where these players have come from. A lot of them are guys who have been counted out. You know, they called George Kittle a fullback coming out of Iowa. They didn't know where Fred Warner was going to play. Was he a safety? Was he a nickel? Was he an edge player? Was he a linebacker? He had never played middle linebacker prior to coming to the NFL. You've got guys like Charvarius Ward, former undrafted free agent. You go down the list, of course, Brock Purdy and these guys. So these guys have been, and they obviously have some high profile players, but a lot of these guys have been counted out at one point in their careers. Even guys like Christian McCaffrey, who have the draft pedigree, he got labeled as injury prone. He got labeled as, to the point where his own franchise just kind of threw him out. And you really look at what they gave up for him as a steal, a second, third, fourth, and a future fifth, like for Christian McCaffrey. And people were like, "Oh, that's too much." And you see what he's done. So they all have this like natural chip on their shoulder, based on how they've gotten to where they've gotten and the success that they found. And so I think this fits. I think this fits the 49ers really well. I think, for me personally, as someone who's been covering the 49ers for a while now, I get a little uneasy when everyone expects us to win, because I feel like that's when it's kind of the sketchiest, like look at that Green Bay Packers game. I remember doing our Prediction Friday show. It was, everyone predicted blowout win. And I was like, typically when we predict a blowout win, it's a lot closer than we all anticipate. And sure enough, that's kind of how it goes. So I don't know. You call it whatever you want, but I like the fact that the 49ers are being picked against right now, and I think it benefits them. I think it does. I think that the mentality of kind of circle the wagons, a lot of the early talk and social media and stuff like that is, no one wants this matchup, but let alone they don't want, the Niners to win. And so I like this. Do you like it? Let me know. Do you think this is a good thing, bad thing? I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.